November 1867, the Oxnard Plain along the Santa Clara River in what was then Santa Barbara County. California had become the 31st state in 1850, and there is still much land to settle. A group of German immigrants make their way down south in search of fertile farmland when a wagon breaks an axle crossing the Santa Clara River. The group includes the Christian Borchard family, his nephew Casper, and some friends from the old country, Gottfried Malhart and his wife Sophie. They decide to camp along the river until they can get the wagon fixed. In the wide, vast plains filled with yellow flowers, they recognize wild mustard plants, a source of seed which can be harvested and sold. Their journey ends here and their legacy begins as these families go on to establish the beginnings of a major agricultural hub, Ventura County, the city of Oxnard. Christian Borchard, who has recently received his U.S. citizenship, had preceded the others in the U.S. by 18 years when he had tried to strike it rich during the gold rush of 1849 in Northern California. In 1867, after floods had ruined his business in Contra Costa County up north, Christian Borchard had made trips to the Oxnard Plain to scout out a place to raise his family and make a new start. In October 1867, he had purchased 1,000 acres of land from Jose Lobero, land that was rich with this wild mustard. His nephews and his friends the Malharts have now left central Germany to avoid conscription into the Prussian army, traversing the world to join Christian and his family. They are coming to freely practice their Catholic faith and to discover the American dream. Jeff Malhart is a fifth-generation Oxnard native, a history teacher, and the author of several books about Oxnard.
One reason the Malharts came over here is because Germany was a collection of states, and Prussia was one of the states that was trying to unite Germany through warfare. And the Malharts were from the Kingdom of Hanover. After a 3-day battle in which they lost, they decided to come to California to start a new life instead of fighting forward and fighting against the other states.
When these settlers first arrive, the plain is inhabited by no one, covered with gopher holes, and there is but a lone tree. The sojourners temporarily stay in an adobe house owned by Rafael Gonzalez, one of the 8 grantees of Rancho El Rio de Santa Clara o la Colonia, which had been granted prior to the Mexican-American War by the Mexican government.
Rancho El Rio de Santa Clara o la Colonia means the colony by the Santa Clara River. And it was called the colony because Rafael Gonzalez, along with 7 of his family members, applied for a grant from Governor Alvarado.
The two families combined forces to begin harvesting the wild mustard seed, which they sell in Santa Barbara for 2 cents a pound. The Malharts leased several hundred acres of land, working the dry, parched ground, bringing it to yield good crops of barley and corn for the next several years.
The sugar beet was a cash crop. Unlike the other crops in the area, you could make a lot of money on it.
In 1897, the Oxnard family, headed up by Henry T. Oxnard, a Washington, D.C. insider, begins construction of a new $2 million sugar refinery in Ventura County. Backing up a bit, original farmer Gottfried Malhart, after purchasing land on La Colonia from Juan Camarillo, had built a house there, which also included a winery and a carriage house, which is a barn for fixing and storing wagons.
Way back in 1997, I went to Germany for a trip to do some studying and some research on some of the old families from this area. And after seeing hundreds of years of history, I thought I need to go back to Oxnard and find some of the old buildings and see if maybe we can save some history here.